Kos is like, he's in a box right there. You might see him jump soon. But he seems pretty content. So, you know, we've been, oh, there he went. We've been hit by a heat wave recently, and I'm still reeling from it, wearing like my most lightweight, you know, pajama shirt, and eating some delicious canned sardines. So what do we have today? Today we have Conservas de Cambados spicy sardines in sunflower oil, the small kind, small sardines. Gourmet product, gluten-free of course, easy to open, product of Spain. Small sardines, sunflower oil, cayenne, and salt. And it's not olive oil, strangely enough, even though it's from the Mediterranean. No olive oil, and it's cayenne peppers, and they don't say that there's any spices, so no cloves, no no cloves, no carrots, no pickles, no piri piri, no bay leaves, just spicy oil. That's it. So probably a more simple flavor profile. And to represent the fact that this is, you know, a fishery, you know, that they put little fish nets all around, like a pseudo fishing net all around the can. I'm gonna open it. There we go. Removed can, just a simple metallic can. It's not golden or anything. It says small sardines in spicy olive oil. Seems like it was packed in 2020, but it's good until the future. So we're gonna open it. I'm gonna put it. I can't give you the money shot sadly, but I will show you as soon as I open it. Wait, they are easy to open. Compared to my Nuri cans, this is easy to open. So, what do they look like? Wow. What do they look like? They look like this. They're pretty nicely set up in there. The oil's a little bit dark. They're a little bit not as nicely packed as I expected them to be from a can that's supposed to be gourmet. However, I did drop the can, so that's probably why. If we inspect, see this one, it's beautiful. The way that you can see the scales shining. This one's a little bit bigger, this one's a little bit smaller. So these are small sardines, but they're not baby sardines. To my knowledge, there's an even smaller, god damn it. There's an even smaller category than this, which are the baby sardines. No, don't break, don't break. It broke a little bit, but they're pretty nice. They're pretty nicely sized. You know, you can pop them in your mouth in one go and it would be pretty easy. There we go, look at that, my chopstick just rolled away. And Kos is sniffing them with intent. So we're back on the table after showing you the sardines from up close. Kos is here, he's interested. I'm interested, I want to eat them. So let's eat them. I'm just gonna pop an entire one in my mouth, that way I have the Kos, don't lick the oil, it's spicy, you're gonna die. I'm gonna pop an entire one in my mouth, that way I get all the flavors at once from all the pieces of the fish. It's falling apart. They're a little bit softer than I'm used to. So, what do I get flavor-wise? I get the sardine first and foremost. That's like what I get the most of right now. I don't really get any hint of spice. It doesn't even tingle slightly. Maybe it's because these ones are the ones close to the surface, so you know they're not as submerged in the oil. I can't hold chopsticks today. I don't know what's up with me. A little bit spicier. Like, if you get ones that are more submerged in oil, but still, this is dare I say, shameful. It's shameful to call this spicy. They're not spicy at all. A little bit of bread. Don't get me wrong, the sardine taste is delicious, it's very good. The first one I had was a little bit fishier, maybe not in a pleasant fishy way, but it was a little bit fishier. But the other ones are fine, but it could also be that because it's the first one, my mouth is not accustomed to the fishiness, and as soon as I eat more, they're better. Size-wise, you know, you have some that are like this, but you also have some that are like this. So they're not, you know, consistently sized, but at the same time, you know, I mean, sardines are an alive product in the sense that, you know, they come from nature. They're not, you don't expect them to all be the same size all the time. So it's just that I think, to my knowledge anyways, in kind of higher end canneries that delineate stuff by size, you'll have, you know, they'll try to put like sized sardines in the same can so that there's some semblance of consistency. Now, I'm not gonna say, oh, this is outrageous, this one is way bigger than the other one, because they're not that much, like, they're not such a huge difference. It's just that, you know, this one's got a bit more of like a belly, whereas this one's a bit thinner. But if you're looking for spiced sardines, this is not it. These are basically just sardines in olive oil with a single cayenne pepper. And the cayenne pepper does give a slight kind of fruity, you know, pepper note to it, flower, like fruity kind of floral pepper note to it, but it gives like no spice at all. For spiced sardines, so far the best flavor I've had was nuri with their spiced sardines. You know, nuri, you taste the spices, there's a slight little spiciness, you know, that tingles. You know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's spicy by any means, but it's definitely more, there's more of a reaction to the nuris than there are to these. But flavor is good, texture is good. Texture wise, they're a little bit softer when you like pick them up and play with them than I'm used to, but in your mouth, very meaty, very satisfying to eat, very, there's a good consistency to it. You don't feel the spines at all. Speaking of, I want to mess with the spine a little bit just to see like, what's the deal, you know? Is the spine kind of, you know what? They hold pretty well, honestly, when I'm trying to break them apart. The spine, you know, the spine's pretty sturdy. I'm like pulling on it and it's keeping. Yeah, the spine just feels like, you know, if you eat the spine on its own, you can tell it's there, but if you eat the whole fish, you really can't feel the spine. It feels like, I don't know what to describe it like. Have you ever had like that fake kind of sugar-based candy paper kind of thing where you put it in your mouth and as soon as you chew it, it kind of dissolves and there's like a slight kind of crystalline graininess to them? That's how it feels. It's really not like doesn't bother doesn't bother you at all. And flavor wise, you know, they're pretty fatty, even though they're small sardines. Like the skin brings a good amount of delicious fattiness in them. Olive oil, you know, it's not olive oil. That's why I was gonna say it's not the most flavorful olive oil, but it's not olive oil. It's very neutral tasting. You really just get sardine taste, and you get what do you call it? Like the little slight hint of pepper taste, but it's not spicy. If you were to buy, you know, spicy sardines and you're expecting them to have a little kick of something, this is not it. I will say, I don't know if these are more expensive than the not spicy ones, like Conservas de Cambados small sardines in oil. But if they're more expensive because these are supposed to be spicy, don't buy these. Buy the regular ones. Like, you're not gonna. It's not worth spending extra money to have something spicy when it doesn't taste spicy, but they're really good. I like them a lot. I like small sardines. You know, the last ones I had, the Mediterranean brand, which have no. They're not labeled as Mediterranean brand. They're labeled as just sardines, like Sardines. And those ones were quite good as well, small sardines. And these are small sardines, and I like them a lot. I still can't tell if, you know, small sardines are meant to be more flavorful because all the flavor is concentrated in their tiny bodies, or if they're supposed to be less flavorful because they're less mature. But so far, you know, I've been very much enjoying my small sardines. But what's really fun about them is just that you have the variety of texture multiple times. You know, this can had like 10 small sardines. So you have 10 times the different variation of like the bones, the meat of the belly, the meat of the tail. You know, you get all that playful variation. Whereas, you know, if you eat large sardines, like, you know, the ones that instead of being like this one, they're like this large, and they're kind of fatter. Those ones, they Kos is doing like, he's like squinting. I think he's like smelling the sardines. He's like angrily staring at, well, not angrily, but he's staring at me. He's very, very determined. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about these except that they're not spicy, and it's kind of disappointing. I was expecting a little bit of spice or something. I don't want to give some to Kos just in case, you know, the peppers are somehow bad for the cat, because I don't feel any spice, but maybe the cat's gonna feel spice, and I don't want to make him feel bad, you know. If it was just in olive oil, I would give him. It's very sardine forward, you know. I like these, but I'm not gonna buy these again. I'll just buy the olive oil ones, or just Nuris, because Nuris are a little bit less expensive, and you can actually taste all the kind of complexity of the spices they put in, and you actually get the spiciness. But it's kind of disappointing in the sense that I kind of expected a lot, since it's supposed to be gourmet, and Conservas de Cambados is like a pretty big, fancy conserva place. But it's only disappointing because it's kind of like you're not getting what you expect to get. So maybe I kind of set myself up for disappointment, but I don't know, maybe they should be spicy if it says they're meant to be spicy. Now, to be fair, I have very high spice tolerance. I've been eating spicy food since I was a kid, and a lot of my favorite cuisines have a lot of spicy food in them. So maybe, you know, this guy is just so you know, used to eating spicy food that something like this doesn't do anything, but actually it is spicy. But I don't think so. Usually, even when something, even if something is spicy but I don't find it spicy, I can usually tell, like, oh, there's a slight tingle or something. This has nothing. So your mileage may vary. Maybe this is a dud. You know, maybe this can is supposed to be spicier, but it's not. I don't know. Look, I found a little piece of pepper in there. It's so tiny. Look at that. I don't even know if you can tell on camera. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Oh, I dropped it. Tiny, 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 tiny pepper. And this pepper tastes like nothing. It just tastes like the oil itself. It tastes like sardines. I guess they gave all of its flavor to the oil. Maybe the pepper is so small that, and that's why this can is not spicy. Maybe if the pepper had been bigger, the can would be spicier. I don't know. I don't know. On this inconclusive note, I will finish eating my sardines. Thank you for spending some time with me. I don't like eating on camera, but I like tasting on camera to give my thoughts. Maybe I rambled a lot, maybe I repeated myself a lot, but isn't that why you're here? You like to hear me ramble? I guess so. Or maybe you just care about the sardines, in which case they're very good, but they could be spicier. That's all I have to say. Bow, bow, bow.